Hello, I'm Jason Harrington, President and CEO of Lakes Regional Healthcare, and wanted to take an opportunity in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, and many of you probably are quarantined or are sitting at home with your children. I wanted to take an opportunity first and foremost to thank the community. We've had an outpouring of people from the community saying, how can I help? How can I help? We've had child care centers that have reached out that have said they have capacity. We've had high school students and otherwise that would be willing to take care of healthcare workers, children. So daycare is a significant need for us. We've had a number of other offers for a variety of things, from businesses saying, hey, we have N95 masks, could you use them? Or we have respirators that if at some point in the future, if this broadens, you could use them. And we're grateful for every one of you and every business in the community, that an individual that's reached out to us, and I just want to say thank you. For the most part, we're encouraging people to stay away from the Lakes Regional Healthcare unless they have a reason to be here, both in terms of visitors and the general public. And if you have general symptoms, we're encouraging you to call into the clinic and not come in unless you're acutely ill. So on the one hand, we're encouraging people to stay at home when appropriate and practice social distancing and otherwise. On the other hand, we're trying to be thoughtful about the future and the potential spread of COVID-19. And so we have a number of volunteers here at the organization that fall into the high-risk group. So they would be people who are retired that are 60 and 65 years and older. And so we've really discouraged them as a group to continue to volunteer during this time. And so they fill a very, very important role for us. And so for those of you that are at home or otherwise have capacity that might be interested in volunteering in some of those roles, which would predominantly be wayfinding and transporting patients, we would love to have you join us in whatever capacity you have. We would obviously want to make sure you don't fall into any of those high-risk groups. We would screen you medically to ensure that we wouldn't be exposing any patients or yourself to anyone. But if you're looking for something to do in this time when many of us unfortunately have some downtime, we would welcome that time and opportunity. If you'd be interested, I would encourage you to contact Jennifer Gustafson, who, amongst other things, is our volunteer coordinator, and Jen can be reached at jennifer.gustafson@lakeshealth.org. So jennifer.gustafson@lakeshealth.org, or you can reach her at her office at 712-336-8799. And at this point, we're kind of collecting names and those that might be interested. As we think down the road, again, about the potential spread, there's been some changes in regulations in the state. So if you're a previous healthcare provider, nurse, lab technician, physician, or otherwise, that in the future might be willing to provide some volunteer and guidance if there's a spread beyond. We would certainly be interested in knowing who you are and your level of interest, and you could call Jen at that same number. The change in the regulation is that if your license expired within the last 5 years, they would treat that license as being active in terms of volunteerism and otherwise. So if you would have interest in volunteering in any of those things, you don't fall into the high-risk category, and you would be willing to provide assistance in the short term, we would welcome that. And again, jennifer.gustafson@lakeshealth.org or 712-336-8799. The other thing, just a thank you to those of you that are continuing to grocery stores and truck drivers and people that are going into work. And remember, we're a small community, and we're proud of the cohesiveness of our community. But make sure, particularly at this time, restaurants and otherwise that are being limited, reach out and instead of making a meal tonight, utilize one of our local restaurants and try to support them during this time as well. So thank you for your support of Lakes Regional Healthcare, everything you do for us, and those of you that have offered to help us. If you have other ideas about providing assistance, we're always open to that at the same number. We appreciate it. Practice social distancing during this time, and thank you very much.